In the framework of this course, this exam on multimedia learning object, we've been invited to develop a multimedia learning object focusing on the design, development, and evaluation of the learning object. Here is the course we have prepared: Inclusion in School. Here are the characteristics of the course. The course is Inclusion in School, designed for the Form 4 students. Duration 2 hours. Duration 2 hours. Here are the learning needs: to be equipped with inclusion skills. The learning environment is online. Here is the general objective. Here are the specific objective. To introduce my lesson, I use an image. Is a case study. This case study is putting in situation a student who has his physical impairment and who's isolated in the classroom and with his classmate who are very curious to look at him. The voice over narration I use here is my own voice trying to explain. I wanted to make it more natural. That's why I use my personal voice. You can listen.
The image you have in front of you is the image of a classical classroom in Africa. In this classroom, you have ordinary students and you have one student with a disability.
Here, I also use a voice-over narration to talk about the types of disability. I wanted to focus first to the visible or the physical disabilities. Those disabilities that are visible just when you see the person. I also use my personal voice to narrate it.
The palette of images you have in front of you are 4 cases of physical disabilities.
And here we have other disabilities. Here I'm giving the list of all the disabilities. So the activity is by giving the main name of disability. I'll invite the student to give me the example, because here we are trying to bring the student to also work. Is a constructive. We are using here constructivism. So we invite the student to be involved in the lesson to construct the knowledge. And here we are using also a voice over narration to try to explain the student what the Convention on the Human Right of Person with Disability says about this category of people. So here you can also listen.
The Convention on the Rights of Person with
Yes. Importance of inclusion. I once more use my voice, and here we have the characteristic of an inclusive classroom. This is a video that I uploaded from you. I downloaded on YouTube.
Provide a minute or two for all the students to think.
Okay, and here is the quiz. The quiz, we use the mechanism, we use the plugin iSpring here to answer the quiz. We come here, we click on quiz. Now as the quiz is open, we just come here, preview quiz. We come here, preview quiz. It can take some time, but in the coming minutes, coming seconds, it will be okay. Yes. Here is our quiz. Yes, so inclusion is, I choose my answer, I submit. They say it's correct, I continue. I use what is visual impairment. Okay, I click, I submit. They say it's correct, I continue. Okay, something like that. I click, I submit. They say it's incorrect, I continue. I say okay, I submit. They say it's correct, view the results. Here are my result. I got 75 percent of the points. So they said I didn't pass. Now, the second part of this exam, we have been invited to analyze. Conduct a research project focusing on the effectiveness of multimedia learning object in comparison with traditional methods. Here is the introduction to this. And to conduct our survey, we have worked with 15 students in Cameroon from the secondary school, undergraduate and master, because we wanted to see who work with them. We wanted them to explain us what they understand about multimedia learning object and the effectiveness of learning effectiveness. So we've discussed with them before giving them the survey. We've delivered this course with them, so I presented this course online. We've tried to discuss and shown them what a multimedia learning object looks like. They saw. So now, after that, I asked them the question on the effectiveness of learning between the traditional method and the current, the multimedia learning object. We clearly see here that among the 15, only 10 answer the survey, and those who answer, they attest that learning is effective using multimedia learning object because the content is reusable, it avoids to overload the student, and it is more engaging. But what they say is that unfortunately the method is not yet common in school. Some schools try to mix traditional and method and the multimedia learning, while others don't even practice it. So here is the report of my study or my research. The effectiveness of learning multimedia learning object. Pedagogically, it's engaging. There's gamification, and it's a factor of inclusion because of the multiplicity of the media. It enables collaboration in an online environment, and in comparison with the traditional method where students had to fill books with scripture text is being replaced by other media, and the content is reusable. So unfortunately, as I said, they said that not only the courses are using those methods. So that's all for the presentation concerning the multimedia learning object exam. I really thank you for giving me the opportunity to present this topic. Thank you.